Technically, it's break time, so now I can talk. Hi. I'm just reviewing stuff since it's been about a week since I have been on here. I don't have to do that. So, not on here, but since I've been studying. So, of course, let's focus on the little cord.
As if he wasn't 12 a year ago.
There's still, whatchamacallit. Can't play my voice of the video I'm watching because I'm worried about copyright. Way mean than I ever was. This is literally a book for the kids, but Finley was like, you know, you hate math so much, so let's just get you this book and have you do it. So that's what I've been doing. It's really good. These are little cards because I can't bring myself to write it down in a notebook. So it's just different stuff that I've gone over, and it's more visual, so it's easier for me. Then, yeah, well, this is called Mythically Chaos of Studying. I also have a pen and stationery obsession, so we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to set timer for a 5-minute break. Yeah, 3 minutes should be more than enough. So, yeah. And then overthinking. Yep. PC is awake. Why is it? So, yeah. Anyways. Those things happen. Mythically chaotic studying trademark. Yeah. Well, it looks a lot nicer right now. Usually the pens are like all over the place and like stuff. So this is just review, and then tomorrow I'll do a lesson, and then I have to do. You know, they always talk about the GD. You know, they think GD is a cop out or something like that. This is my GD book. This is how thick it is. It's like half of it's studying, and the other half is like tests. So I'm doing this for math, not this math. This math is very confusing and written, and the GD videos are like very I'm not gonna say like bad, but it's not that great. And then so I'm focusing on 2 subjects to take those 2 tests.
Actually, we do have
So every day I hope to, not every day, there's 1 day off. Well, no, 3 days off. So every
email you the bread. Where are you? Okay.
I can't do math in my head right now, 7. So 4 days out of the week I'll be doing this type of stream. I know it's not really niche, but I need to. I'm also learning how to use a calculator. I guess I can show you my screen for 5 seconds. That won't be copyrighted, right?
Why is everyone on Roblox? Roblox is the
Wait.
worst game I've ever heard of.
There you go.
Yeah, Roblox is not fun. Come on,
So
man.
this here is a calculator I have to use in GD, which is different from the calculator my lovely teacher is using here. So I have to look up said video about how to use said aloud. Turn that off to say
Bro, that's crazy.
to do aloud whatchamacallit. So yeah. And then I didn't know this, but there was like only 10 questions without a calculator. So I've been avoiding something that could have been taken care of a long time ago. Seems to be the whatchamacallit of my life. So there you go. Anywho, dismiss. But yeah. Why is this out of focus? Brr. Focus. Here. Whatever. I do not care. So that's done. And then I also have like, so I've been doing typing, trying to do typing daily because I have to type out it's not a paper, but it's like it's a writing test to make sure that you can even write paragraphs, which I understand.
Didn't you save that last
But
summer?
What do you play? Phantom Force.
yeah, so you have like a writing test essay
Oh, you're
in the
playing
GD.
what
I
is
wonder if they
that?
have examples. Let me show you. Let me show you. I am gonna sharing. Hold on.
Why are you so super
Gonna move
fast?
that over here, and then we're gonna come here. Well, the first thing you get hit when you open the book is
Oh.
um. Wait a second.
Ender, have you
What
played?
is that
Have you
speed?
played
I wonder if they have an example.
Genshin or no? Do you not play it? Yeah.
Yeah, so computer-based testing.
What is that?
They talk about it here, and
recoil?
then
Why did
This
you stop?
is
Is it
like
did you stop or no?
they have a little screenshot here. You have to write in the little box, and that means
Ender,
grammar.
what is that?
That means proper
recoil?
punctuation. It's an extended response. Basically, you have to read something with an opposing view, and then you have to make like a little judgment or like your opposing view. Basically, regurgitating what you read, but not regurgitating what you read. Yeah, you get the point. And they'll probably make you do. No, not a critique. It's basically writing with comprehension.
Look,
So you have to read the text. You have to re-say what the one part of the text is saying. One of the examples they use is like talking about recycling. So you have to state what one person's opinion is, and then the other person's opinion from the text, and then you have to write your own. Whatchamacallit.
Because you've been
And then the actual writing, I think you have to write it by yourself, which is a little daunting because I can't make up my mind in general when it comes to writing.
What?
So, like, I almost wrote a novel one time when I was like in 4th grade. What else
I
am
just
I
wanted
writing?
to know how
Oh, that
how
stuff
bad
doesn't
is
count.
it?
Anyway,
How
so
bad
that's
is it?
that's
How
that,
bad
and you have
is
to type it up. Yeah, basically, you have to type it, and then
Okay.
there is a time
So
limit
you
on your
played-
test. So
Alright, so shooter games like these.
you have
this
to
looks really
go
cool.
quickly through the
Rivals-
test
Rivals
part
sounds
of the
cool.
test, like the multiple questions, and then when you reach the writing side, you save time from the
See, I'm just
multiple answer
asking
multiple
how bad.
multiple
Is it,
answer
like, really
questions,
bad, or is it, like,
so that you can write properly.
is it like bad?
Yeah.
No. Bad.
Yeah. No. So that's why I've been doing like a lot of typing stuff as well. Found an
PDF
awesome one where you can like read and type
disgusting math,
stuff. So that's cool.
stuff like that.
Anyways,
No.
I'm gonna turn this
But how much can
over
you,
here.
like,
Oh,
where
it's
would
in
you
the
see
view.
those?
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
how
much would you
Stay.
see of those?
how could you like?
Yeah. I get anxiety. Like, even when I'm sitting here studying this stuff, it's not hard. You can't really see it because it's out of focus. I've already done this stuff. Then I'm just going to review and making little cards for it. I get anxiety or like the feeling like I have to run. I don't know what I'm running from. I don't know why do I feel like I have to run. Why do I have to? Why am I shaking my leg and all this type of stuff, or like bouncing my leg because of the stupid situation? And I think it's because it's time. But the worst part is that my timer is not really here. It's like in my own head, or like when I'm doing this math thing, he's gonna give you the answers, but you're trying really hard to be as quick as you can, missing steps, so you get the answer first. Type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, or I was never really good with math anyways when I was in school because teachers didn't really take the time to explain it to me. So I was really great at reading, but math was not my thing. Never was my thing. So
So there's no really way to find out if it's good or bad.
So do you what do you call it? Recommend, I guess, to us to play it or no? That makes sense.
so and also I felt like my school really leaned on the like it leaned into my reading instead of like focusing on the stuff I was lacking in, which wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Should Mrs. Schofield though. She was my rock where math was concerned. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's true. I mean, my teachers had their own share of like issues, and I think
So the only
like there was other
reason
students in my
why
class that had
I
more
would
problems
play
than I
something
did,
for
and so I think they
really
thought
bad,
because I was able
but
to
I don't.
like I was
I don't
advanced
know.
in reading, so you
My
should
mom is
you
really
really should be able to
doesn't
read this
want us to
text,
play it
Yankee.
because
You should be able to
like
read and
she
follow the
knows it's
directions,
really bad
but
and stuff
I just couldn't. Like one time, this one of my teachers told me decimal was like money, and I took that literally. And she literally said to me, "I never saw anyone who couldn't add 1.1 to 1.2 in my life." And I'm like, "Well, clearly it's $2.30 or something like that." It had something to do with long numbers. Good times. Good times. Mhm. Okay. Yeah. It is what it is. Ever was.
Yeah. There's been a lot of that.
And then this is like a dumping method for me at least because I am going over what I did and looking at the thing. Try not to watch the whole video. Because it's just really learning lesson, but just to give something I can glance at and be like, okay, this is that thing this way. Even though we had them at least showed us not to do when we had to teach. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
I had a.
So yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't only public school because like half of the time I was homeschooled. When I was homeschooled, I did very well because I could go at my own pace and stuff like that. But as soon as the program started to force me to be in front of a computer all the time, and they were like very rigid on like what I had to do and how I had to do it, so like I would read a whole story, and then they would be like, "Oh, you were supposed to only read one page." But they would ask detailed questions on that one page. But I read the whole story. I got the main subject. I got the main idea of the thing. But they want to ask detailed questions about that one page. And I was like, okay, so that's how we're doing this. And then afterward, try to do the whole self-teaching thing. It doesn't work. Like the whole unschooling. It's not unschooling. What is it? I don't want to throw unschoolers under the bus because there's some good at it. I'm not that type of person. My family is not those type of people that can just sit there and make their own decisions. Not make their own decisions, but like not have a schedule. Like I need to have a schedule. if I don't have a schedule and if I don't have expectations of myself, I won't get that thing done. You know? It's just how it is.
Of course you do. Like almost everything in this game you have to pay for.
Who are you talking to?
Ender.
Oh, hi, Ender. Anyways. So, yeah.
There. Okay.
Okay.
Even in Fortnite, there was bad maps. Even though it's kind of more controlled. But
That's the problem. It kind of is like.
Like, it's like the whole streaming thing. If I don't have expectations of myself, right? And it's kind of like why I'm doing like the whole study stream thing. Because I'm trying to do like become the next study YouTuber or whatever. Though that was the thought when I was 16, but then I was like, no. I'm not aesthetically pleasing. I mean, like, look at this. Look at this. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Come down. Follow. Oh, forget it. Anyways, so I had this his whole unschooling thing, and just it doesn't work. Honestly, it doesn't work for my
like,
siblings either.
We could play it with.
You know,
We could play it with.
it's even like with the gym.
Acountable,
Like,
because we know him, but we
and
can't
I
play
think
this new game and we just be
it's because
but
yeah, yes, they're study YouTubers. They are study YouTubers. There are whole YouTubers that are just based around studying. Like Ali Abdel, before he was doing productivity, was doing MCAT studying and medical school is studying. Not studying, but medical school,
on
like how to study, how to be productive, and all this type of stuff. And then it turned into the productivity sort of thing. There are YouTubers that just talk about literature. I have subscribed to a couple of them, you know, and the only one thing I see problem, the only thing I see a problem with these YouTubers is that they give high expectations for things that are not possible for other people. So like they're like, watch me study for 10 hours straight without getting up, right?
So your other friend,
Good for you.
like, he doesn't even have.
Other
your friend
people
doesn't
have
the money, he can't
responsibilities.
do it.
You know what I mean? Or 25 hours with me in Oxford. Yeah, 10 hours. This one dude, he was very popular for 10 hours. Like, he would just sit in front of his computer for 10 hours studying or work with me. That's another thing. Like, you got the get ready with me type of people. Then you got the work with me people. And they usually are doing coding. I mean, yeah. 10 hours. So, like, imagine filming yourself working for 10 hours. You know, like, how do I don't, no, thank you. Like, even, like, when I'm streaming right now, I may have a moment where I'm like, dude, I literally overthought this whole stupid equation. I put in the calculators, minus 125. You know, like, I don't want to film the whole thing, you know. Or most of the time, though, those people are usually, not exclusively, usually they're either content managers. Hold on. Content managers, designers, or coders. They're the ones who have like the most success in like this work with me type of niche. And again, good for them, you know what I mean?
How are you writing
But
so
I
fast?
can't do it. And yeah, there was like, I thought about learning to code, but then I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I come back here and I read my notes. I'm like, what was I doing?
I hate shopping, guys.
So, or the other one. No, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes, yeah, it's like there's like a line of like, do I sit here and I talk while I study? Because I totally can talk, but or do I keep silent? I don't think Usually people have background noise. I don't have any background noises. Because copyright. I mean, study is nice, but it's not worth getting copyrighted for. So, right now I'm just putting down examples for the things I have to, like, different stuff. So it's not a big deal.
I got 196.
It's like,
Ingot
I'm like making flashcards for myself.
from cooking up
And I'm going to do this super long one. Because why not? We're not going to use this pen. We're going to use the other one. Where's the other pen? There it is. My little streaming phase, royalty-free music was my way to go. Yeah. But you know, for me, it's like music is super overstimulating. Background noise is overstimulating. Like, don't tell my siblings, but I have my headphones on most of the time because if I don't, every little thing I'll pick up on. You know, so like, I may not be, I'm not listening to anything right now. I have my headphones on as I'm trying to focus or trying to think or something. You know? All right, Mr. Man, we're going to go down here.
How do I build chain?
There was like, Ricky's always got her headphones on, and she can't hear a thing. It's like, yeah, there's a reason for it. You know? I'm messing around and stuff like that, and I don't hang up for it. That is not the point. Okay. Alright. So, 9 x 2 minus
Huh? How did you die?
8 x 14 plus 16x minus 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need another color. Wait, maybe I don't. Yep, I do. I need another color. No. I feel. Yeah, and it's not because you're trying to ignore them. It's just, yeah, it's just is. Just is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know where to build chain.
Include the sign in front.
I'm trying to repair my chain armor.
It's not 16. What am I doing?
It's chain. What? It's called appearance
And even though
chest
there's
plate.
like, I know
But it's a chain.
another problem I had when my
Yeah,
first
no,
lessons
it's
on here is
skin on.
because I was so focused on the stupid
I have
calculator,
skin on
I
my,
completely
I
forgot
got
to
that.
write down how to do it
On the skin.
by hand, like in my head. So it's another reason I'm going over it.
It's
Okay, not my head, on paper.
appearance chain chest plate.
You get the point.
Titan. What's Titan?
Also, like, and not that I was solely focused on calculator because the calculator made it look less intense. I also have to use the calculator because I'm sure they're gonna ask me something really stupid and dumb on the thing. So,
Oh.
negative two.
You're starting to sound like Jake. Jake's always like shotguns are cheating. You see, you're sounding like Jake.
Yeah, it's it's like I don't know why they're still using it. It's like an older calculator when you have the newer one, the 81. And it's just like, it's the same function. It's not like you can put, okay, maybe you can. I've never used a physical Texas calculator. It was like a rite passage when you go into high school. But, wow. Can't imagine having something for that long. Did it have anything? Well, it is no, but like seriously, like here's the thing. There's a lot of things that people do in high school, like you get your fancy pants calculator. You have to take AP stuff. You have to be responsible for your own timetables. Um, which I never went to a physical high school. And technically, I was done with high school at 15. But like, another thing. So I never got to have the calculator, even though I probably should have used one early on. So, anyways, GD, even in 2026, is still stuck in the past with the TI-30XS. I'm not going to go into calculator politics. I think it's a little dumb. Okay, because with the 81, it's so much easier. And, like, less buttons to push and less the right way of putting stuff in. Like, no, but I'm serious. It's hard, you know, like. Okay, so yeah, I have 14 minus 5 equals negative 19. Wow, and I'm gonna add it all together. Like seriously, I just, and it's not like I didn't think that was a big deal. Or like doing AP exams and stuff like that. Bro, I started looking up that stuff when I was looking into getting university and stuff like that. And I was like, now imagine, I was just trying to imagine myself 17. Where was I at the time? I think it was still in Morocco. 17, I have to choose AP exams. I have to do extracurriculars. And I would have to make sure you don't flunk on different lessons. I'm not a flunker, but I am a C or D. I got B's one time too. Language was always an A. Grading systems are stupid. Anyways. C's get degrees. Oh my gosh. What did you get a C in? Or did you always get C's? I'm not judging. I'm curious now. Oh. I see. I see the C's. Topic classes like mythology or easy A's. Well, yeah, it's a topic you're interested in. You know, World War II, Britain. Could totally ace that. You know. That's the problem. Like, the topics you are interested in don't pay the bills. So, like, I would totally be a historian if it paid the bills. It does not. You know? Got way too. This is the thing, too. I have way too many passions. I can't choose one. Another reason I've kind of been avoiding the question of, like, what I'm going to school for. Nursing's an easy one. An easy option. Not like an easy choice. I know it comes with stuff. I know that. It is not that is not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. I'm gonna flip this over. Oh, no, that's just that. Alright. We're done with that. I had to be smart with my class choices. If I loaded up on primary classes that were hard, I'd be suffering. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also another thing is, like, the price of said electives. Because when I looked up... Okay, we have a pretty popular university here in Minnesota. The U of M. Or University of Minnesota. My name is self-explanatory. But they're like, yeah, so if you're going to do pre-nursing, you have to do this, this, and this. And you got your biology and chemistry. And they said, we also would like you to choose one of the following electives. And they name off things that are totally not related. I was like, you know, farming. Farming is totally related to this situation. But that other thing you're talking about is not related at all. You know, like farming, you know, you could talk about biology and stuff like that. They were suggesting acting as an elective. Like an extra boost. I don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the extra lesson that you take just in case you need the extra credits. And I'm like, I'm a nurse. When do I need to recite Macbeth? No offense. Not saying that. But I'm just saying. Or like they want to do public speaking. Now I get that if you're like the head nurse and like something happens and you have to like do a little news blurb. That happens. I understand that. But like to take a whole course on it? Yeah. And I was like, it's still money though. That's the other thing. Is like it's each credit costs something. So even though you do need that credit, it's extra money. So like my brain's not computing. If you like it and you were going to take it anyways, good on you. If you're trying to stay as, what is it called, financially healthy as possible, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, again, not hating on anyone who does do that. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so I'm good. No, I should make... Nope, I already did this. I already did this. So that is that. Get over here. That doesn't go here. That doesn't... Yeah, I have it. Should I write the lessons on top of them? Nah. Live on the wild side. We're not going to do that. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's a little bit different for me because if I go to school, it's going to be locally. So, like, I don't have to worry about having empty space. And I found out I liked acting. Funny enough, my mom, I think it was before she had me, maybe a little afterward, she went to lessons at the Walker Arts Center here in Minnesota. We also have the Guthrie Theater. Scott Fitzgerald, that sort of guy. And my mom took a lot of different lessons. She learned singing. She did a monologue. Self-acting one time for her school. She didn't remember exactly what it was. It was like a bar scene or something, I think. Or like a cafe scene or something. Yeah, so she took a lot of creative, like, like conversation. It was more of like a self-reflective acting type of thing. She was supposed to be playing multiple characters. I don't know if it was improv or monologue. She doesn't remember exactly. But yeah. I don't even remember what she got on that thing. I never read her transcripts. Why would I? Yeah, one person play type of thing. It was a part of a program to get people I'm gonna save this tomorrow. I'm gonna do 3 lessons tomorrow. So we're on to the next thing. Do I have my timer on? No, I do not, because it's extra. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so it was like a one person sort of thing. And then she did. My grandmother was really into like clay. She had multiple interests. She had like, she used to do pottery. And she was the one that put mom through those like lessons and stuff like that. So, yeah. She also had like a very advanced high school. Like you did? Oh, that's cool. My grandma made it was supposed to be a clown. What was it called? It was supposed to be like a clown, but she painted it to be a hobo. That was her words, not mine. She painted it to be a hobo because she hated clowns. So, and my mom was able to do throwing a little bit. That was cool. Yeah, no, not a pot, a statue. Like a little miniature guy. It's really cool. Well, the thought of it was really cool, but she didn't have it when she told me about it. So, water break. Yeah, water and vitamin break. So now I just blame mom. Hey, Lex, how's it going? Okay. Hold on. Yes, this is a 1 lesson left, and then I have to do the cards for that as well. So, yeah. We also have this problem in my family where we sit there, we think that we can do everything all at once. And if we don't get it right the first time, it's not worth keeping. Q? But your name is Lex. Okay. Well, I'll call you Q then. That's fine. How's your day? I need... Close that. Close that. And after I do this stuff, I'm going to be making notes. First, I need to have a break. I will be back, you guys. I am back. I had to go pray real quick. And mom's playing Minecraft, so check in with her. So yeah. I mean, my mom tried to do stuff with me. A lot of times it was just like outdoor things. We went camping. That was awesome. My favorite national park too. Perfect. We had a tent. We had a very bougie tent. And then we had blankets. My grandmother and my aunt, they had a blow up bed. That was awesome. And then we went fishing every day. And we had fried fish every dinner. And the raccoons stole the peanut butter. Lost the peanut butter, and then we found it underneath our car. Which, funny thing, is that at that time we had like an 80s Cadillac DeVille. And we were able to fit my mom, her partner at that time, well, her husband at the time, and my sister, she was little, my grandmother and my aunts and me in it. It was not a comfortable journey, but we made it in one piece. So, went camping with the scout troop. Oh, you were a Boy Scout. I begged to make sure that we had one of those plastic fishing poles that you could shoot out the line. Plastic fishing poles you could shoot out. I remember the kid fishing poles, like the Barbie and Monster Truck ones. They had one that shot out. Now I've been robbed. Practically robbed. That's insane. I probably saw it as a kid, but because I already had a fishing pole and didn't ask for it, I got more 3D pen advertisements than the shooting out fishing pole type of advertisements. So, but it sounds cool. It could be illegal. Because that sounds almost like spearfishing. I know it's not spearfishing, but it almost sounds like spearfishing. So, not saying it is illegal. Its bullet could flip out, revealing the hook and bait, then becoming a robber. That is smart. But the question is, how long did that last? Because my Barbie fishing pole lasted centuries. Yes, I had a Barbie fishing pole, and I am not ashamed of it. Oh. Silly me. It lasted a good bit. I think we gave it up because of how little became. Yeah. I mean, after that camping trip, we did not go fishing again.
Hey.
I've been wanting to bring the kids fishing. Well, mom has too. You know, I'm not alone in like the wanting to go. You get the point. But at that time we didn't have the car and stuff. But the idea of choosing a fishing pole now is like super daunting because like, what if you get the wrong one? And mom's like, well, you can't really choose the wrong fishing pole, and it's like, that's like saying you can't choose the wrong pair of rollerblades. You can though, you know. Yeah, I'm sure it was cool. I'm sure. There's a lot of things I got to. There's an as seen on TV store at Mall of America, or there was, and all the as seen on TV products was inside, and you got to play with like remember the ball that was like super popular. We would have been like 13, 12, or 11, and it was like the magic ball, and like you would roll it around your hand. It would look like it was floating, but it wasn't. I got to play with it and I was like, man, it's just a ball. Why are they hyping it up so badly? Like, I wanted it. That's a problem with that seeing on TV ads. Yeah, just gotta make sure you choose the right kind. Ocean salt, get an ocean rod pond, get a normal one. Yeah, well, I'm not fishing for sharks with a normal pond rod. That's not happening, you know. Two is the best example. You know. And cowpox and smallpox and immunity. Jenner. Mad lads who go fishing for swordfish. Oh yeah, they're crazy. I've seen a couple videos of them. You know, you kind of go down this like weird, like YouTube rabbit hole. You don't mean to watch that movie or show, but you end up watching it, like Good Mythical Morning. I like those guys. And then they became grumpy old men. And they thought no one would notice. I noticed, you know. Yeah, exactly. It's like cat videos. Do you even watch cat videos on a daily basis? I don't know. Like, okay, well, I did have a small obsession when I was 13. There was this older woman. She started a YouTube channel for her cats. And she was technically a breeder, but not like in a bad way. And she would post the cutest little baby cat videos. Of course, they were her cats, kittens, but they were like the cutest cats in the world. And then I got my own cats and I stopped watching cat videos. Yeah. Have you ever seen, what's his name? Oh my gosh. He does scuba diving. The Almighty. Was obsessed with his stuff a lot, too. Like, he would go scuba diving and then, like, go, what is it called? No, he did some spearfishing, but he was mostly metal detecting. It's kind of in the same niche. He like goes metal detecting at beaches and underwater and stuff. He would make really awesome videos of just the stuff he would find under the water. Just like he went into a ship once. Yeah, that type of stuff. There's magnet fishing too, but I've been pulling up some weird stuff recently. And then you have to question if it's real or not, and then it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, this guy.
Okay. Now we're doing to text. Why are we doing that? Ups and downs of gardening, planting and maintaining a backyard garden. Successful gardeners often express their deep feelings of accomplishment and satisfaction in the gardens. Yes, I literally have to read this all and answer questions about it. It will happen on the test as well. It involves good exercise of fresh air, spending time outdoors, and the healthy escape from everyday responsibilities and concerns. A flower garden provides a beautiful view that often attracts delightful visitors, including butterflies and hummingbirds. Provides nutritious food and can add up to a significant savings to your grocery bill. Yeah, you're already done. Why stop doing that? An herb garden can supply alternatives to unhealthy ingredients such as salt and oil. It cannot supply alternatives to salt and oil. You can't. We're not going there. On the other hand, planting and maintaining a garden can be very expensive and time-consuming, and the garden may fail despite your best efforts. Proper soil and fertilizers must be bought, and plants and seeds must be chosen. It is also important to consider the watering and feeding of the garden to ensure proper growth. A number of factors control may affect the success of your garden. If the season's weather is extreme in any way, too dry or too rainy, too hot or too cold, or work wasting your investment of the time and money. Similarly, invasive pests and diseases can be devastating to your home garden and can be difficult and expensive to control. And then we passive aggressive Yankee. Hey, I'm not being passive aggressive. I'm just saying. You're talking about replacing salt and oil with herbs, and that's not how it works. Wait. Less than 9. I thought it was B. See, I always end up getting one wrong. That's true. He didn't actually say that. I should have thought about that. I did not. Other two were correct. That's all that matters. And then we have more tests. And more tests. Then we start chapter 2. We are going to ignore said tests. We're just going to pretend like they don't exist. And we're going to come over here and grab... Actually, that passive aggressiveness is one of the reasons my teachers complained to my mom, saying that I was quote unquote bossy. I just had opinions. They didn't like it. They literally contacted my mother and were like, ma'am, your daughter, though very smart, has been causing issues with the teacher's authority. That's literally what they said. I was causing issues with the teacher's authority. You were too spicy. Look. I was trying really hard to keep it in. I really do. Like, there was this one time my teacher, she caught me writing we had a writing project going on, but you were only supposed to write during writing time. I was in 4th grade, and I just came from homeschooling, so every moment is writing time unless it's like math time or something. So during quote unquote reading time, I was writing my paper, and then another student started to copy me, not like copy my story, but copy like writing during reading time. And my lovely teacher, Mrs. Campbell, came over and was like, Yankee, what you doing? I said, I'm writing. She's like, why are you writing during reading time? And why are you being such a horrible example for the other students? And I think she even went as far as saying, you are not above the rules. And I was like, I'm not doing this to be above the rules, Mrs. Campbell. I'm just trying to write, and I cannot help that when I'm reading, I think about what I'm supposed to be writing, and then What did I do wrong? And there's another time. So,
It's 4 o'clock.
because I'm Muslim,
Yeah, no.
the school uniform, they gave me a t shirt. Now, you're not supposed to wear t shirts outside of your home. So, I put an undershirt on that was like a black athletic undershirt with long sleeves. And one of the other, not my teacher, but teachers that would pass you in the hall, this woman had it out for me, I swear. Anyways, she saw me and she's like, "Are you supposed to wear that?" And I said, "Well, ma'am, because of my religion, I've been given a pass. It's just a plain black undershirt. Nothing fancy, just a plain black undershirt." Okay? So that went on for about 2 months and everything was fine. And then a classmate of mine came with the same thing, an athletic black undershirt, long sleeve, under his t shirt. I was like, "Oh, okay, twins. That's no big deal." And then my teacher was like, "Look, here's the thing. You're starting a trend, and the school would really like you to stop." I'm like, "Well, ma'am, here's the thing. You guys gave me a t shirt for the uniform. I can't wear t shirts. I can only wear long sleeve shirts. So unless you give me a long sleeve uniform shirt, this is what I have to wear." And she ended up talking to, because they only gave me one uniform shirt. Unless you want to buy one, of course, and my family didn't have money like that. So they proceeded to give me a green shirt. My first shirt was yellow. So exactly. So they gave me a green long sleeve shirt, and that was that. That's what I thought. So Eid comes around. Right? This lovely lady who has it out for me, I swear. This is not the first time she's been bugging me. Right? It's dumb. This little interaction was weird, but it still like made you go like, "What?" So I got my green shirt. Everything's wonderful. Now Eid comes around. Now on Eid day, you're supposed to do henna. Well, not supposed to. You do henna on your hands. And someone gave my mom a henna tube, and I put henna on my hands. The henna is stained. It's a little design. Can't do nothing about it. Can't wash it off, right? So I'm sitting at lunch, and the same lady that complained about my shirt sees me with the stuff on my hands. It's just like, "Are those temporary tattoos?" And I'm like, hold on, let me check. Nope, very not temporary. Very stained, very cannot cover. It's just like, "Well, if you keep on doing this, you're going to make another trend." And I'm like, I don't think anyone here, besides other Muslim kids, know what henna is. It was the whole thing. And then my final day at school, this same lady. Okay, this really bugs me. Okay, you know reading is fundamental, right? Riff books. So because we're the older class, we're supposed to go and mind like the books being out and stuff like that. So my reading group, the advanced reading group, is selected to watch the littler kids come and pick their riff book. Okay? Now, I doubt they'll ever see this video, this stream, but I'm sure there's millions of people out there with the same names. My two classmates, Christian and Jovan, they were just messing around. I mean, like, we're 12, man. We're not like high schoolers. And they're messing about, and the other little kids have already passed. They were messing around while waiting, which involved running around and going underneath the table. So I get back to my homeroom, and Mrs. Campbell comes up to me with the meanest looking face on the face of the planet and says, "Yankee, I cannot believe this. You were running around upstairs?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, Mrs. So-and-so, same lady who has been complaining about me ever since I existed, said that she saw you running around the tables upstairs." And I'm just standing there. I was like, "Mrs. Campbell, I was standing guard over those books like my life depended on it. What are you talking about?" Objection. Exactly. I got really no, but like I was so worried of making Mrs. Campbell upset. Like I got really like teary-eyed and like confused. It was my last day anyways. I don't even know why I cared so much. Right? And then Jovan and Christian, they were gathering and stuff, and they're like, Mrs. Campbell was us. We were the ones running around, not her. And Mrs. Campbell was like, what do you mean? Why would that teacher lie? And I said, I don't know. Maybe because she's had it out with me ever since I got here? I don't know. Do I look like someone to run around books when I'm supposed to be managing them? Oh, the scandal. Thankfully, that was the only scandal I ever had in my school. Well, most of the time. There was a pole thing. That was weird. Someone claimed I pushed her into a pole. But that's a whole nother story. And I think I've already told that one. But even then, Mrs. Campbell was like, oh, it's just Ellie being Ellie. I was scared to death of disappointing them. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, my mom, she was like, I didn't cause trouble. You know what I mean? I was like, no, I didn't cause trouble. I couldn't cause trouble. I didn't even have a mean bone in my body to cause trouble. You know, like, but there were a lot of times that people would say the weirdest things. Mitchell, however. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I ever had, like, there was basic bullying. There was bullying I couldn't even, like, talk about on here. That was when I was in kindergarten. But then you gotta remember, this was, like, a lot of it had to do with miscommunications about my religion. One time, here's the thing. It's weird enough my kindergarten teacher was a veteran. But then it was even weirder that he called my mom and said, so, your daughter is very smart in geography. And my mom's like, okay, is that a good thing? And he's like, well, she just knows a lot about the Middle East. I was like, she didn't tell me this until I was like 13. I was like, I could have told them all the European and African countries too. Like, we were talking about, I don't remember what we were talking about. I think we were talking, it's geography, right? You know, and I was just naming off countries, being stupid show off. And, he's like, well, we're just wondering what you're teaching her at home, you know, because, you know, with the stuff going on. And it's like, it's 2005. What do you mean by what stuff that's going on? And they were like, and her vocabulary is like really advanced, so what are you guys doing? I know. It's like, what did you think? She was giving me Stark juice or something? Like, what was the question? And my mom's like, sir, I have dyslexia. I don't know where she gets her smartness from. I don't know. She watches documentaries and movies alike. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, well, we're just making sure there's no, like, it's like he was trying to say it without saying it. Like without saying, like, you know, because you're Muslim, Middle East. It's like, dude, we're American. We're not even Arab. We're American. It's like, what? It's like, you get over it, right? You get over it. But then you're like sitting there, like, random day drinking coffee and like, man, that was funny. Or like, or like the head of thing, one of the things she actually said was, is this like a party of your religion? And I'm like, well, technically it's not. It's just pretty. Okay? And I'm allowed to have it? And we just happen to have henna around this time? She's like, so it's not a religious thing. Like, I can't help that I stained my hands. Would you yell at me if I stained my hands with, like, tie-dye as well. Because I was like at the point that I was getting to. I've had weird interactions with people. I mean, like, honestly, I don't like I know that there's some people like some Muslims get really touchy about like conversations like this, and I'm just like, I'm laughing because you're making assumptions that don't make any sense. Don't make any sense, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm starting trends? Of all the people, the Muslim girl in 4th grade is starting a trend. Honestly. And then the funny part is that the kid that copied me, his mom is the school psychiatrist? Is that what they're called? They're like, she like talks to the kids and stuff like that. She's not a psychiatrist, but she was like the one if you had problems, you go talk to her. And she came by to like check on, yeah, like a school therapist. But she was nice. His mom was really nice. She was a nice lady. Anyways, yeah, consultant or something. It was elementary school. But anyways, she stopped by the class after I had gotten told by the teacher that I was starting a trend. And she was like, oh, and by the way, I forgot her last name. We just called her the kid's mom. Again, I'm pretty sure he's never going to watch the stream. So, the kid's mom. And she stopped by and they're like, okay, so by the way, Mrs. So-and-so, your son can't wear the undershirt anymore. And she's like, okay. We ran out of his long sleeve shirts and the t-shirt. It's winter time. So I was just, trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's it. It won't happen again. Because they were like really weird about like their what is it called? Their uniform rules. Like it was either black or khaki shirt, pants, yeah. Yeah, it was a dress code. You had like, okay, so you had the uniform that had the name on it, and then you could only wear black or khaki pants. You couldn't wear exorbitantly styled. Okay, so it could be any type of black pants, but it can't have any Nike or any type of name brand on it or anything like that. And my mom liked that idea because she thought it would make people have less bullying. Yeah, no advertisements, no logos, no big Nike, no Supreme, no anything like that. Though Supreme wasn't even a thing when I was that age, so it didn't matter. Or like you couldn't have overly stylized backpacks either, which I don't even know what that meant. Because I had a basic purple backpack and then I took a permanent marker to it and doodled. No one saw it. So, yeah. Anyways. Crazy times. Again, crazy times. Stuff that doesn't make sense. Jake, what you doing? You had Swiss Gear backpacks? I didn't even know they made backpacks for Swiss Gear. What? When was that a thing? Oh, that's crazy. I thought I would know about it because, well, of course, with last year's a Swiss Gear. It's like, another thing that became really popular with YouTubers was Fjallraven backpacks. Really? Oh, well, again, a good backpack that lasts you beyond trends. I always had knockoff backpacks when I was a kid. Or Walmart backpacks. Let's not call them but knockoffs. We had to go on every an hour out of town to get them. But got them because they last. That's true. Look, here's the thing. If it lasts, it lasts. I mean, come on. I've traveled farther. Before we went back to Egypt, my mom's husband was like trying to collect, like we had like a lot of stuff for leaving. We were moving. We were never coming back. Whatever. Anyways, he literally went to 5 different thrift stores because they claimed to have Swiss gear suitcases. And I was 13 at the time, and I was just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Yeah, suitcases. Because we were transporting a very specific, like, amount. I don't remember. I'm not even going to go into it. It was, like, one of those, like, times of, like, weirdness. They're eating ice cream.
What?
They're eating ice cream?
Yeah.
Hey! What about me? So, anyways. Let's see, what do I have on here? Let's put chapter 1.
We'll probably leave you some.
I don't care. It's fine. A lot of times when I was a kid, there was these moments where you're just like, what are we doing again? It's okay. I have coffee. I was so blessed. Went to there's a store here in Minnesota. It sells like cheaper-ish foods, and they had my favorite creamer. So I had been having mint mocha coffee every morning. It's spectacular. Okay. I'm gonna put that in big letters up there because why not? Yeah,
Hello.
it's always good. Mom can't have any. She doesn't really like mint mocha. That's fine.
I think we're gonna get.
They also, the same company makes like really awesome
But
pumpkin spice creamer,
Ender was here,
but it's
he,
like a good
go to work.
amount of pumpkin with cream. So yeah, no, no, we're gonna do that. So yeah, it's always nice. Yeah, put the big light on. What I have a color code. It's, the thing is that it's a one lifetime. It's like a once in a lifetime thing. I know there's some people that are really obsessed with it, and I'm not. I like pumpkin pie. Okay? And so every time I have a pumpkin spice anything, I'm hoping for pumpkin pie. But then it's never pumpkin pie. But then you forget that thing the next year is not pumpkin pie. Like,
Okay, wow.
like every year they come out with new pumpkin spice thing. You try that new pumpkin spice thing, thinking it'll be pumpkin pie, but then you remember it's never pumpkin pie.
Be right back. 1 second.
So. Okay. Alright, the main idea is for terms. Blue is for explanation. Okay, wait. Well, we're not going to do blue. We do red, green, and black. I didn't mean to do blue at that time. The spice is a lot. Yeah, it's mostly like it's pumpkin spice cookies. They taste like spice cookies. They just taste like snickerdoodles. In a way. Not a bad way, but I just mean like in a way they taste like snickerdoodles. So that's what I mean. And also the pumpkin spice latte itself is like has no real pumpkin in it. So Mom always makes fun of me about the pumpkin spice thing. But then again, yeah, no, I don't care. I try to get gluten-free pumpkin pie for mom. I got one from Whole Foods one time. Whole Foods has started to have less gluten-free stuff. Why is that happening? Like, of all places. I'm sorry, I'm ranting. But so it's just like I feel bad because okay, our local co-op, not local, near us, not near us, far. Anyways, it's a very popular co-op. Used to have a whole bunch of gluten-free stuff. Had mom's favorite cake, right? I get back to America, and I'm like, you know what? We're gonna go to that co-op and we're gonna get a cake. We're gonna celebrate. And guess what I find? Gluten-free cookies. What happens in margarine cake? I asked them. Oh, we've stopped making that 5 years ago. Why? So I go, and there's a French Meadow Bakery. Big deal. And I get a cake from there. I try to get something that's not chocolate, not too vanilla-y, make everyone happy. It's too sweet. Is the thing about gluten-free stuff is that they always overcompensate it with heavily sweet or heavily creamy stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, why? Why? You know? Why would you do that? And mom really doesn't like having a lot of sugar. So yeah. Well, and then also Aldi has its gluten-free stuff, right? And we've tried it, but again, the stuff um is always way too sweet. And then I had gotten a cake mix from their gluten-free or G-free life or something like that. It's their brand. And I hate on Aldi. I love Aldi, but this it grinds my gears, you know? And then another problem is that a lot of gluten-free stuff has oats in it. Now, people with high sensitivity can't have oats. My mom can't have oats. My aunt can't have oats. So, even though it's gluten-free oats, we try to avoid it. And every single time they bring out a new gluten-free product, it's made with oat. And I'm just like, why? Why are you doing this? Rice flour, tapioca starch, these things are cheap. Potato starch, it's cheap. You don't have to do oats. You know, I'm not really worried on my side of things. I personally feel that I don't have an issue with gluten, but I won't say that out loud. Because mom really believes I do, and maybe I do. Maybe I do. But I don't get as affected as she does, right? So it's okay. I can have oats. The kids can have oats, but they can't. And it like really makes me upset that a lot of the gluten-free stuff also is made with monk fruit or stevia. Now here's the thing. The stevia that they're putting in that stuff is not real stevia. The actual stevia the actual stevia is a green plant. It took years before mom and Emma figured out that they have gluten issues. Yeah. When there's no actual test for it. It's all about taking said thing out of your life. So, been on a lot of diets in my life. We went fruitarian. That was a thing. Dude, I can't believe I did that. We went fruitarian for about 6 months. We were in Egypt. We could do it. The fruit's there 24/7. We did feel lighter, but we also like craved warm stuff. So then we started introducing meat back into the situation and rice. We were also having, we weren't like really strict on it. We were also having like a treat. So we were okay doing that, but then I guess maybe it starts over time. I don't know. Then we went gluten free. There was a low carb diet too, but that was just like no noodles except for like a potato. Like no bread. Like just a potato. And when we went on the low carb diet, I was like 12 and I was like so over it. Mm-hmm. How'd that go? 20 pounds? Meh. Next question would be is how much you gained back after you stopped. That's the other thing. So like for right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not in a good place health wise. You know, high motivation. You know, when things are hyped, there's a high motivation. So when we did the fruitarian thing, there was like a whole documentary. We signed up for this documentary showing and stuff like that. And it was talking about how the blood work of fruitarians and stuff like that. The fruit vegan diet? We followed a couple of people who did. You know, it was just easier too. It was gluten free. It was, you know, you didn't have to worry about meat and all this type of stuff. There's just something missing. You know, and it's not like, oh, I miss my sweets. You can make sweets with fruit. Fruit is sweet. You know? So there was always high motivation for that type of stuff. Especially when everybody was doing it. So like everyone was doing keto at one time. Everyone was doing paleo. Oh my gosh. Paleo was a thing. I can't believe we actually believe this stuff. Paleo. I don't even. Are CrossFitters even doing paleo anymore? I don't even know. Like I've like look. Here's the thing. Everything's gone the vegan route. So like all the protein bars are like either made with most of them are made with the vegan protein, which is made from peas and soybeans, which I hate because it tastes disgusting. Like it tastes like sand, you know? And the hold on, things. So it's just I wonder what happened to those people. And then butter coffee. Okay, I'm gonna admit we tried it. That's true. That's true. It does lack the crunch of sand. It just feels. It tastes like sand. It feels like sand on, like it like it's a weird melt. I'm not even gonna go into it. Butter coffee. Like here's the thing. I have to explain that like this whole health like side of us is like my mom went to school for holistic health. When I was like 6 or 7, I think. Um, Maybe when I was 5. And so she knew about this stuff. And then of course there's like information, news, YouTube, you know. Slow down, Yuki. So she of course was like reading all this type of stuff, and it's just like, dude, I don't understand why we thought this stuff was okay, like butter and coffee. First of all, that mixture doesn't work. It's like olive oil and coffee. Now, of course, people they swear by it, and I've been here. Look, here's the thing. I had an obsession. I still have an obsession with coffee, and I'm gonna buy myself an espresso machine. All right, but this like the butter coffee thing happened, paleo happened. Don't eat anything sweet because it's not what a Neanderthal would eat. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a Neanderthal out there named Bob who would have sacrificed his life for a honeycomb. You know. Yeah, exactly. It is a process, but it's also like goes with like science of it. You know, and I understand the keto thing. The problem with the keto diet is that's not sustainable in the long term. That's something we, kind of discussed passively, have random deep conversations about certain subject at random times, but I came to the conclusion that keto is not sustainable. You need carbs. The carbs are there for a reason. And then once you finally understand how food works in your life, like how food is processed and stuff like that, it starts to make sense. You know what I mean? I wasn't done with that. I don't know, it was 2 pages. Well, okay. We're just do a squiggly squiggle through that, and we'll make some out of it later. Anyways. So, it just, like, it comes... And then also, like, it gets really unhealthy, too. Like, I follow up with some the fruitarians now. Bro, someone needs to make them a sandwich. Because, like, they claim that their health is good. But there's no... But physically, they don't look healthy. You know? And your problem shouldn't be fixed halfways. And you stick with it. You know what I mean? So, like, one of them had hypoglycemia. And she swore that fruitarianism helped her. But then at the same time, other functions of her body were failing. So then, do you keep on being a fruitarian because your hypoglycemia gets better? Meanwhile, your body in other places is shutting down. That doesn't make any sense. There has to be a give and take. And then also, don't get me started on vitamin deficiencies, which is rampant in the fruitarian and vegan diets. This is research based, it's not judging based. You know?
I think it is the one watching it dumb.
So, it's what I've noticed over the time. And then every single year there seems to be a new diet or something or new fad. The current fad is, of course, the weightlifting, which is not a fad. Let's call it what it is. It's a form that is now popular based on other people's opinions, essentially. Other people making it influenced. And same thing with Pilates. Pilates has been around for a long time. Like, I was doing Pilates when I was 15. At home. Pop Pilates. Blogalates. But Blogalates. She was the girl to do Pilates with. And then all of a sudden, everybody is at these fancy pants Pilates places, judging other people based on their weight for trying to do Pilates. I mean, God forbid someone's trying to actually make their life better, but whatever. Exactly. It's all of a sudden. No, seriously, it is all of a sudden. All of a sudden, everyone cares. It's like CrossFit. CrossFit was the same thing. There was like, people were doing CrossFit a long time ago. Now all of a sudden it's really popular. It's not popular now. But I'm just saying, now they're making fun of people who did CrossFit, which I don't appreciate because I thought pro CrossFit was really cool. Always wanted to do it.
Bruh. Oh my goodness. No,
You know? Or it's like another thing, trends. Trends in general is like a horrible thing. I'm I'm literally holding a trend right now. This very pen was a trend. In the very first beginning of StudyTubeville, Jelly Roll pens were the hype. This highlighter, this silly little highlighter. Okay, this is a knockoff brand. The zebra highlighters. Huge trend. Guess what? You actually try them and it's not as good as it's supposed to be. Or like how they made it out to be. You know? And I talk about like study trends too, because like it's supposed to help you. It also kind of goes along with the Apple sort of thing. Like if you want to be productive, you have to have Apple because all the productive people have Apples. No one's productive on a PC. Literally look it up. You know, if you look up productivity in a PC, you'll get like practical things, but not like the apps that Apple has. You know, like I'm not going there, but still. We're gonna change the colors because why not? We need some color here. Oh no. The fella I called is here, so my internet's gonna go out while we swap them. Alright, Cephalon. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I will be here. In my corner of the internet. Evaluate the writer's evidence. Alright. Well, it's nice talking to you too. Sorry, I yap a lot. Alright, bye. I'm gonna say goodbyes here. Assessing the writer's evidence.